Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm creating a turn-based role-playing indie game called EverLoot. I've always loved dungeon crawler games like Baldur's Gate, the old Ultima Underworld series, and Diablo, but those are massive games that take a lot of time, money, and people to get done, and I wanted a project I could complete in 6 to 12 months. So when I saw the demo for Double Dungeon, I got inspired. What if instead of these massive worlds like Baldur's Gate or this tiny curated experience like in Double Dungeon, there was something that you could play in 30-minute chunks or even hour-long chunks if you wanted to, and had enough classes, perks, and other content to keep you coming back? What if the big bad evil guy could be faced at any time, so you could complete the game when you felt ready? Having spent 25 years as a professional programmer and 7 years making tools for Unity developers, I knew that this was something that I could take on. So I gathered up all the tools I've created, plus a couple of third-party assets, and got to work. 6 weeks later, I have a vertical slice running on desktop and the Steam Deck. The main premise of EverLoot is simple. You and your party of adventurers went to the village of Ingram in order to use their portal to travel to a distant land in search of treasure and glory. The only problem is that the portal isn't working correctly anymore. Every time they open the portal, it just leads to some new random dungeon. Oh, and they can only keep the portal open for a short time, so you have to get in, loot what you can, and get out before the portal closes. If you don't, you'll be stuck there forever. Something that is important to me with this game is accessibility. I want as many people as possible to be able to enjoy EverLoot, so while it's currently only AI translations, I've built localization in from the very beginning. I've also made it possible to play with the classic keyboard and mouse or a controller. That way you can play on any platform, and if you have any physical limitations, you can use a special input device and still be able to enjoy the same game as everyone else. I am taking into account color blindness as well. While the current prototype just has 3 variations of the same enemy in different colors, in the future they'll be updated to be visually distinct. The red slime will have small flames licking it, and the green one will drip acid. So you'll never have to have just a color to tell you what kind of enemy you're facing. And since I only have 6 to 12 months to complete this, I've given myself some pretty tight restrictions, and I'm hoping they also end up making the game more fun. For example, I'm not a 3D artist, and I'm currently just using a collection of purchased assets. And while I may replace those with custom models in the future, limiting myself to this pack has forced me to be creative with what I had. And I kind of think that it's really fun that in this sort of high fantasy world, you've also got a character that just straight up has a shotgun and can build turrets. I also didn't want to overload myself with hundreds of different weapons and armors, so that led me to use my socketing system to allow you to customize the limited items that there are in nearly endless ways. Does it make sense that putting a gem on a crossbow would somehow make you harder to hit? No, absolutely not, but it is kind of fun. There's still lots of work to be done, putting in enemies, implementing the skill trees, and so forth, not to mention I'm going to have to learn how to market my game. But I'm confident that I have what it takes, and I'm excited to take this journey. And I hope you'll join me. In future devlogs, I'll show you what's changed from the last time, dive into some systems, and take an honest look at the choices that I've made for the development cycle, and the importance of letting some bugs just exist for a while so they don't slow you down. Until then, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. I'll leave you with a little more footage of the EverLoot prototype.